Yes, beta. So yeah. Okay. So uh, firstly, any difficulty, any doubts in whatever we have done till now with the content? किसी को कोई doubt है? Any difficulty, any doubt? If not, I'll move ahead with the most important part of this chapter. That is going to be the third part of your information. No, na? Good, good, good. Okay. So we have to go ahead with something called as counter current method. Okay. So what exactly is counter current method is something that we have to understand. This was your third part of this chapter. That was in the continuation of urine formation, how the counter current system is going to be effective. Now, what exactly is counter current method? Okay, so please understand this. What is counter current? Counter current का मतलब होता है one fluid is going to move in one particular direction and the other fluid adjoining that fluid is going to move in opposite direction. तो आप मुझे बता सकते हो दो फ्लूइड्स कौन से हैं जो अपोजिट डायरेक्शंस में मूव कर रहे हैं that they had told you all about it? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone recollect? Very good, Zui. Very nice. Very nice. Come on. Others, can you tell me? Great. Palak, very nice, beta. Right answer. Yes, Niharika. Very correct. Very correct. Come on. Sabka good morning. Chalo, chalo, chalo. Wake up and tell me this answer. My question is, what are the two fluids that move in opposite direction to have this counter current system? Very good, Bhumi. Yes, beta. Right answer. Come on, I want all of you all to put your inputs. तो मुझे समझेगा तुम लोग का गुड मॉर्निंग हो चुका है या फिर ऐसे ही हो अभी भी पता नहीं मुझे. हाँ? But whatever answers you have given me till just now, like all are correct. Yes. So it is going to be with respect to what? The urine formation, which is moving via the tubules of the nephron and the vasa recta, which was, you remember, the branching of the efferent arteriole, which is going to surround all these tubules, yeah, which is going to carry the blood. So मैंने उस दिन बताया था आपको याद है कि यूरिन है जो पीसीटी में से डिसेंडिंग लूप ऑफ हेनली में जाके एसेंडिंग लूप ऑफ हेनली में आके डीसीटी में जाके कलेक्टिंग ट्यूब्यूल में जा रहा है. Right now, you remember this? And I told you that blood कैसे move हो रहा है बेटा? From the efferent arteriole, the like that arteriole will branch into capillaries, and those capillaries will form a network over the, especially the loop of Henle and the PCT. You recollect that particular diagram? Yeah. So we are going to talk about these two only. That is how these two are going to be interacting. For what, beta? We saw that what all things were getting reabsorbed. We saw reabsorption now. So I told you reabsorption in PCT was bicarbonates, nutrients, water, electrolytes, है ना, Na+, ये सारे reabsorb हो रहे थे. अब reabsorb मतलब where were they getting reabsorbed? They were getting reabsorbed inside the blood. How the blood came? From the vasa recta. Okay, so this method only we have to understand, nothing else. So it's very easy, it's very simple, but still. So this was the last thing that we have seen, and now we move ahead with concentration of the filtrate. Okay. So ये ना डायग्राम देखने के बाद डर लगता है कि oh my god, what exactly is this, and how am I supposed to remember all these things? So don't worry, I'll give you a very simplified version of this. Let us see what it wants to say first. So urine formation, concentration of the filtrate. Henle's loop and vasa recta help to concentrate the urine. That is the first thing. The flow of the filtrate in the two limbs, that is the descending limb and the ascending limb, है ना? So the flow of the filtrate in the two limbs of Henle's loop and the flow of the blood through two limbs of the vasa recta, okay, are in opposite directions, that is in counter current pattern. This is called as counter current mechanism. As simple as that. As I told you, है ना? एक ऐसे है तो एक ऐसे है, करेक्ट? तो ये देखो बेटा, यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट हो सकता है, ओके? इसीलिए मैंने है ना यहाँ पर एकदम सिंप्लीफाइड वाला डायग्राम दिया है. फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड दिस and then I'll go to this particular diagram, okay? Why there is a sound coming? Some irritating sound is disturbing me. एक मिनट है बेटा, एक ही मिनट. साउंड क्या है देख रहा है. Was the sound of the fan, anyways, yeah. So see, please pay attention over here now. This is going to be, we will talk about this diagram later on. Of course, I'll talk about it, but later on, okay? पहले हम लोग इसको समझते हैं with a simplified diagram. What's your doubt, beta? What does the blood do of the nitrogenous waste after that? Blood will squeeze away the nitrogenous waste over here inside the PCT to let it go as urine out of the body. Okay, so blood में जितना भी nitrogenous waste है ना will be squeezed out over here. Okay, got it? Yeah. So see, this is going to be the afferent arteriole, which is going to branch into capillaries of the glomerulus. The glomerulus will be held by the Bowman's capsule. No, tubular secretion इसके बाद है. Tubular secretion is after this. Reabsorbed one will be, it is going to be again getting circulated when the concentration becomes higher. It has to be in minimal amount to maintain the osmolarity. So we require a little bit of nitrogen for maintaining the osmolarity, and it's going to pass again and again. Na? So we saw that 1/5 amount of the blood is going to be passed per minute through this particular process. We recycle. And every time, like, you know, a minimum concentration will be maintained, the excess one will be squeezed out. Okay? Right? Yeah, like a cycle. Yes, beta. So, so here the afferent arteriole is going to divide as what? Capillaries. Now, these capillaries are going to be held together inside the structure called as the Bowman's capsule. We saw the Bowman's capsule has got the epithelial cells which are modified to form the podocytes. We also saw that the podocytes were having the, you know, finger-like projections. The foot processes that we saw, these foot processes were literally squeezing the capillaries, right? Due to the squeezing action, all the, you know, nitrogenous waste, glucose, nutrients, whatnot, I mean, so many things were getting squeezed out inside this particular tube, which was your proximal convoluted tubule. PCT का full form क्या है? Proximal convoluted tubule. Now, after whatever was removed, okay, whatever was entering inside the PCT, immediately this particular branch of the afferent arteriole eventually became, you know, like it sort of come out of this glomerulus as efferent arteriole. which is going to be smaller in size, whose lumen will be smaller. So the force of the blood would be more. The pressure of the blood would be more when you decrease the surface area, right? Now with the force, with the pressure, the blood is moving in this particular fashion. Can you see kahan ja raha hai blood ka flow? तो ये जो है, this is going to be the efferent arteriole which will eventually definitely branch. तो ये branching देखो कैसे हो रहा है. तो ये यहाँ से पहले PCT के ऊपर से जा रहा है, then it is going down, the blood is flowing down पीछे से of the DCT, then it is moving along with the loop of Henle, ये descending loop, ये वासा रेक्टा का ascending loop, और ये वापस यहाँ नहीं जा रहा है, कहाँ जा रहा है देखो, अब इसके ऊपर से जाके it is going like this way. To meet whom? It is going to meet the venules to reach the inferior vena cava. Okay, so this is going to finally reach the inferior vena cava. Now, if you look at the blood flow, ये देखो बेटा, यहाँ से it is very much in close proximity with the PCT. Then it is so much close to the ascending loop of Henle. It is very close to the actual loop of Henle, and it is also close to the descending loop of Henle. है ना? तो मैक्सिमम रीअब्जॉर्प्शन जो है वो यहाँ पर, ये देखो इधर भी यहाँ पर हो सकती है. So whenever the vasa recta is going to be in close proximity with the tubules, at that particular positions, there is going to be reabsorption taking place. And the method of reabsorption, as I said, is going to be a counter current method. Means one, the urine is flowing from the PCT towards the collecting tubule, correct? And the blood is flowing exactly in the opposite direction. तो ये दोनों को उन्होंने अलग अलग दिखाया है in this particular diagram. Okay, just look at this. PCT, ascending loop, and other is DCT, distal convoluted tubule. You don't know what is glomerulus? You don't know what is glomerulus? Glomerulus is a tuft of capillaries formed by the branching of the arteriole, afferent arteriole. So this is your glomerulus, right? PCT, ascending loop, and DCT. DCT is distal convoluted tubule. Now, if you look over here, technically speaking, है ना, ये वासा रेक्टा है, और ये अपना पूरा का पूरा नेफ्रॉन विद द कलेक्टिंग ट्यूब्यूल है. हाई कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, किसका हाई कॉन्सेंट्रेशन? किसका हाई कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बेटा? Absorption का, absorption will be done from PCT, DCT, and loop of Henle into the vasa recta. So everything is going to ultimately move into the vasa recta. Okay, so reabsorption, ये जो word है ना, ये vasa recta के लिए है. ठीक है, ये देख. Now this now you have to imagine in, वो कैसा है ना, ये ऐसा है. I hope you all can see my hand. Okay, so it's like this way. Fine, but उन्होंने ना उसको ऐसे करके दिखाया है. They have shown this as your PCT, DCT, and loop of Henle, and they have shown this as vasa recta. So just imagine that इसको है ना ऐसे पलट कर दो, उसको ऐसे उसके ऊपर डाल दो vasa recta को, then you will understand it. But see, why have they made it like this way? Just see it. This is going to be the cortex of the kidney. This is the outer medullary region. This is the inner medullary region. We already know that kidney is divided into these outer cortex and inner medulla, right? So बाहर का जो cortical area है, वहां पर क्या होता है, outer medullary area में क्या होता है, and deep inside the medullary area में क्या होता है, is what something is explained. Okay, so see now this is going to be your cortex. You can see the word cortex over here. Cortical region में से क्या क्या बाहर निकल रहा है? Just see from cortex to the outer medulla, what all things are being reabsorbed by the blood. When I say reabsorb, it is reabsorbed by the blood of the vasa recta. Okay, see. Squeezing किसका हुआ? Blood का squeezing हुआ. Okay, now here the osmolarity is 300 milliosmolar per liter. Okay, 300 milliosmolar. आगे दिया है मैंने. So this is here in the PCT. It is still, you know, almost that much only. But now look over here. यहाँ से पानी बाहर निकला, blood के अंदर चला गया. Water, water, water. You can see here. Okay. So here when you see loop of Henle, water is coming out maximum in the which arm? Which arm of the loop of Henle is giving out maximum water? Descending or ascending? Descending. Exactly. Yes, but perfect. So here now the descending arm of the loop of Henle, if you focus over here very precisely, यहाँ से maximum पानी निकल रहा है. इसका मतलब it is more permeable to water. More permeable means more water can get, you know, reabsorbed from this zone, right? Yes. Then if you look over here, ये देखो, because see it was initially 300 milliosmolar, उसमें पानी बहुत ज्यादा था. अब जैसे ही पानी निकल गया, concentrate हो गई यूरिन अपनी. Urine got concentrated, so now it is going to be 1200 milliosmolar. Okay, it is 1200. Fine. Whereas actually in this particular region it's going to be 900. So 300 का 600 हो जाएगा, 600 का 900 हो जाएगा, 900 का 1200 हो जाएगा. Yes, correct. Okay, so this is going to be 1200. Now itna concentrated urine is going to move about. See, but what is going to happen now? Urea is going to be thrown inside this zone. So this is going to be your collecting tubule. So from the collecting tubule, HCl का कुछ सवाल नहीं है बेटा. HCl कहाँ से आएगा? Water will go out. Yes. HCl नहीं, urea. It's not HCl. It is urea. Okay. So urea has entered over here. You can see over here. From the collecting tubule, small amount of urea has entered over here. Okay. Now the osmolarity has reduced to 700. यहाँ से भी urea आ रहा है. Okay. Now in the ascending limb of the loop of Henle, look at it. What is happening? What is going out now? NaCl, correct. Waste is entering the collecting tubule, but that's what I told you all in the first lecture only, na, that some amount of urea will be reabsorbed for maintaining the osmolarity. है ना? So maximum will be eliminated, but little amount is going to get reabsorbed. Last class I told you that only. Huh? Yeah. So see, now if you look in this, ascending loop of Henle, यहाँ पर देखो, NaCl is moving out. NaCl is getting reabsorbed in the blood now. Correct? Urea will be coming from collecting tubule. Yes, beta. Yes, beta. Okay. Now here, what is going to happen? From here, NaCl moves out. You can see very clearly NaCl is moving out. Out matlab kya? What do you mean by that word out? Out ka matlab hai into the blood of the vasa recta, and of course some amount in this interstitial fluid. ये interstitial fluid है. हाँ, yes, it will be absorbed by the vasa recta का blood. अब मुझे बोलो एक बात बेटा, अब यहाँ पर urine was concentrated है ना, अब उसमें से NaCl ही निकल गया, so again it will become dilute or not? हाँ, तो 1200 का ये देखो 700 से 400 से 200 हो गया. Understood how it got, you know, diluted again, right? And eventually, see, ये 100 होके it is going to move through the DCT, that is your distal convoluted tubule, ultimately enter the collecting tubule. H2 also comes. Yes, 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 yes. It's going to come later on. You will be seeing that diagram as well. Understood this or not? Concentration of urine. Huh? Yes. Now let us understand about the vasa recta. ठीक है? ये जो vasa recta है ना, इसके बारे में आप देखते हैं. See, blood from the efferent arteriole, मतलब ये वाला zone, efferent arteriole, blood from the. Look at the color, ना बेटा. Yes, yes, yes. It is going to take place from the collecting duct also. Yes, yes. Look at the color of the blood. They have very well demarked the color of the blood based on the oxygenation and deoxygenation. Yes, yes, right, beta, correct. So see, here the blood from the efferent is going to be oxygenated. It's going to have oxygen, right? Then as it is going to move towards the loop of Henle, capacity, then density, and it is saying to the vein. तो vein का मतलब क्या हो गया? Deoxygenated हो गया ना? Yeah, the numbers represent the concentration. Yes, beta. Yes, yes. Okay. Now see, if you look over here, yes. So now in this diagram, if you look over here, NaCl is entering the blood, water is leaving the blood. Correct? NaCl entering, water leaving. अब ये जो NaCl enter कर रहा है, कहाँ से enter कर रहा है? यहाँ से. So the NaCl which is thrown out is absorbed by the blood. There is no regulation. Yes, the number is also. Yes, correct. Right. Understood ना? So I told you have to overlap this ना. So vasa recta को आप overlap कर दो. तो जब आप overlap करोगे, तो ये NaCl वाला area will come on this NaCl वाला area, है ना? So the NaCl which is going to be thrown out of the ascending loop of Henle will be absorbed by the descending loop of vasa recta. Understood this? See, this is the descending loop of the vasa recta. Arrow नीचे जा रहा है बेटा. Yeah, flip the diagram over the left. Yes, that's what I said. If this is going to be the loop of Henle, they have shown vasa recta like this way. You have to cover it like this way. आपको इसको ऐसे fold करके देना है. ठीक है, तो ये समझेगा आपको what they are trying to tell you. So now यहाँ पर NaCl is going out. Okay, this is your vasa recta. यहाँ से NaCl is entering inside the vasa recta. So when you flip it over it, then you will come to know इधर के इधर ही exchange offer हो रहा है. Right? Got it? Yeah. So from now what is our counter current method? What is the focus that we have to lay down is NaCl is being thrown out from the ascending loop of Henle, and vasa recta is absorbing the same NaCl via the descending loop of vasa recta. Okay. Yes, 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 Krishna. Right. Okay. Got it? Understood? Well, now, yeah, everywhere the same thing is happening. Okay. Now here also the vasa recta is going to become 1200. Okay. Then NaCl is going to move out. See, which is going to be determining the this of concentration of the interstitial fluid. Okay, right? So this itself is going to be nothing but counter current method. What is the need to give out water from vasa recta? The blood concentration has to be maintained to around 5 liters. If it becomes more than that, it needs to be thrown out. Okay, so only that much excess will be given out, not more than that. To maintain what? The blood volume. ठीक है? समझाएं ये वाला part? Just go through it and just check with the sound. It is irritating me a lot. I don't know if it is irritating you. Yeah, interstitial fluid. Yes, better. Yeah, what is your doubt, beta? NaCl is being released while absorbing the water, so does the descending loop of Henle. Yeah. It is going to be, like exchange offer going on to maintain the osmolarity of the blood. Blood को osmolarity maintain करना है और interstitial fluid को osmolarity needs to be maintained. So whatever will be excess will be thrown out in the form of urine. Okay. Deoxygenated blood NaCl is removed by NaCl is removed for maintaining the osmolarity of the blood. So if the blood osmolarity is not maintained, then the blood flow is going to get affected. Okay. Fine. So it has to be maintained. See, the main reason is what? Whatever is there in our body in the form of blood needs to be maintained. Okay. Yes. NaCl will again enter either it will enter the loop of Henle or the interstitial fluid. Right? Either or. Okay. So it depends upon, see, we have to maintain the composition of our blood. We cannot allow the blood composition to move away from its, original percentages. So to maintain that, either throw or take. Okay. And whatever is excess will be thrown out of the body in the form of urine, of course, in the form of urine. Okay. So this is going to be something which needs to be understood very precisely. That is what is countercurrent method. So again, here they have given, see, look at this particular content. Due to the countercurrent and proximity between the loop of Henle and the vasa recta, osmolarity increases from the cortex, which is 300 milliosmolar per liter, to the inner medullary interstitium, which is 1200 milliosmolar per liter. This gradient is caused by NaCl and urea. So it's just because of the movement of the NaCl and urea that even the osmolarity of the interstitial fluid is going to be maintained, or the interstitium is going to be maintained. Now you can look over here as 300 milliosmolar. दिख रहा है आपको? Ascending part of the loop of Henle, if water leaves and NaCl is added, doesn't the blood get exclusively concentrated? Yeah, then that is the problem. It should not happen. Okay, then that is the time you will feel thirsty. Okay, so who collects the water NaCl removed from the vasa recta? No one will collect it. It's just moving via the PCT, DCT, loop of Henle and collecting tubules. So it's going to be a flow. Okay. No, what is that? No, I didn't get you. What is that? No, Krishna, what is that? No, beta. When it is formed from vasa recta, where does it go? Again, it will enter the blood. Again, the blood will get filtered via it. It's a cycle. You know? Why does sugar patient have frequent urination during night? I'll tell you. Okay. It's a cycle going on again and again. It's not going to wait. It's not going to stop. Oh my God, if it stops, that person is no more. Okay. It's a continuous cycle. Well, now just pay attention to this particular part, my dear. ये देखो, इधर ध्यान देना. 300 milliosmolarity, 600 milliosmolarity, 900 milliosmolarity, 1200 milliosmolarity. Now, if no need of remembering too much in detail, बस तीन चीजें याद रखो बच्चा. तीन चीजें याद रखना. In the cortical region, it is 300. Outer medullary, 600. Inner medullary, 900. And deep inside the inner medullary, 1200. Bas itna hi yaad rakhna. It has to be maintained. So this osmolarity has to be maintained. That is the only reason for this movement of nitrogen, urea, NaCl and water. That's the only reason. Okay? So the blood doesn't get purified 100% at any point of time. Some impurities are always present. Yes, my dear. Yes, you're right. Okay. Yeah. That is, table of 3, correct. Okay. Just remember it that way. And what are the few things that you need to understand over here is what, see, that the descending loop of Henle is permeable to water, not permeable to electrolytes, while the ascending loop of Henle is not permeable to water but permeable to electrolytes. है ना? यहाँ से पानी बाहर जा रहा है, यहाँ से NaCl बाहर जा रहा है, बस यही इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं। और अगर आप देख रहे हो, इफ यू फोकस ओवर हियर, इवन द कलेक्टिंग ट्यूब्यूल में से पानी निकल रहा है, एंड दैट इज द रीजन हमारा यूरिन 180 लीटर्स पर डे बन रहा है, बट इट इज बीइंग थ्रोन आउट ओनली 1.5 to 1.8 liters. So why it is getting so much concentrated? Because maximum water is getting reabsorbed. Look at the places where the water is getting reabsorbed now, right? तो कितना सारा water blood में reabsorb हो रहा है, correct? Now you understood that why urine is only 1.5 liters, whereas actually the squeezing is causing 180 liters of urine per day. 200 लीटर यूरिन अगर हम लोग मतलब, हाँ बाप रे, it will be a complete dehydration death. So though it is 180 liters formation, actual how much is going to be thrown out? Only 1.5 liters. Why? Because so much of water is being reabsorbed. Now you understood what exactly is reabsorption, my dears. Anyone having any difficulty? Look at this. Here also, in this particular region, that is DCT also, water is also coming out, NaCl is also coming out. है ना? Water, NaCl completely. This is your vasa recta. NaCl अंदर जा रहा है, पानी बाहर आ रहा है. इधर से NaCl बाहर आ रहा है, जो इसके अंदर जा रहा है ना? Give and take to maintain the osmolarity. That's the only idea behind it. I hope you all have understood what is countercurrent method very precisely. Huh? See, now what are they saying? NaCl is transported by ascending limb of loop of Henle, that is exchanged with the descending limb of the vasa recta. NaCl is returned to the interstitium by ascending limb of vasa recta. NaCl is returned to the interstitium means the interstitial fluid may it will be returned whatever is excess, though it has entered inside the vasa recta ka blood. Okay, so even the interstitial fluid osmolarity will be maintained. So everywhere, what is the fighting going out for? The fighting is going out for maintaining the osmolarity of the blood, first point. And second, the second fight is to maintain the osmolarity of the interstitial fluid, that is the medullary interstitial. So these two things have to be maintained. Whatever will be excess, thrown out in the form of urine. Okay, got it? What is that first that you want me to explain, my dear? First, can you explain the matlab? NaCl is transported. A person drinking more amount of water increases water content in the blood and thereby helps in removal of waste through urine. Exactly, Vaishnavi. Very good, beta. No. Very well said. Very well said. And that is the reason you have to drink more water. Okay, you understood? In the blood used for transfusion, if the blood taken will completely purified, or does it still? No, it still have impurities. It cannot be completely purified. Of course, major like things will be removed, but it cannot be like completely purified. Okay? It doesn't matter also, because these things are required for maintaining the composition of the blood. So it's fine. It's a part of the blood. I am talking about dialysis. I'll talk about dialysis. आगे है वही. ठीक है? Got it? Sure. Fine. Similarly, see, in the interstitial fluid, what is going to happen? Small amount of urea enters the thin segment of the ascending limb of Henle's loop, which is transported back to the interstitium by the collecting tubule. So you can see that in this particular diagram, you can see urea. Yeah, but urea is getting thrown out into the interstitial fluid by the collecting tubule. Okay? Okay. Thus, electrolytes and urea. Electrolytes is your NaCl, K plus, whatever. Okay. Thus, electrolytes and urea are retained in the interstitium and maintain a concentration gradient of the interstitial fluid as well in the medullary interstitium. It enables easy passage of water from the collecting tubules to concentrate the filtrate. Right. So what will happen? More salts will get accumulated in the interstitial fluid. Automatically, to dilute those salts, what will happen? Water from the collecting tubule will move out. Therefore, your urine will get concentrated. ठीक है? समझ में आ गई बात? It's very like once you understand the counter current method, it becomes very simple. Thus, DCT and collecting duct produce urine 4 times concentrated than the initial filtrate form. So see, initially it was only 300 milliosmolar per liter, and now it has become 1200 milliosmolars per liter. So almost 4 times it got concentrated. Huh? That's all with your counter current method. Then we come to something called as micturition. What is micturition? The sense of or the feeling of using the washroom to empty the bladder is called as micturition. Okay, so you get the sense of, you know, like now you have to empty out the bladder. Okay, so what are the steps? See, gradually filling of the urinary bladder, continuous, you know, drop by drop urine formation ho hi raha hai, bladder full ho hi raha hai, but it's gradual. Stretching of the urinary bladder, I told you urinary bladder is going to be having stretch receptors. So see, stretch receptors on its wall send impulses to the CNS. CNS passes on motor message, contraction of the smooth muscles of the bladder, and simultaneous relaxation of the urethral sphincter takes place to cause micturition. So this is how the urine is passed out from the body via the urethra. Okay, so these are the steps. If you look at this diagram, you will come to know that this is going to be the urinary bladder, which is getting full because the ureters are bringing the urine continuously. The stretch receptors going to be over here, which will send the nerve impulse to stimulate the contraction of the smooth muscles. So it is going to send the signal to the brain, the stretch receptors, that the bladder is getting full. It's overstretching. So then the brain or the spinal cord basically are then going to send the signals, ki, come on, open the urethral sphincter and let the urine be thrown out of the body. So it's a complete, you know, CNS controlled mechanism. Okay. Yes, yes, they are called as sphincters. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, Sanika, correct, correct. Okay. So this is how the your brain going to come into action or spinal cord going to come into action. Okay. Yeah. Now let us understand the neural mechanism causing micturition, which is going to be called as your micturition. Actually, it is also called as the micturition reflex. Yeah. See. So same way, the stretch receptors are getting stretched. Signal चला गया यहाँ पर. Motor nerves आ गए. इधर sphincter को खोल दिया. Urine has been passed out. Sphincters are voluntary. They are voluntary. In adults, they are voluntary. In newborns, babies, okay, infants, even, you know, like small children to the age of 7, 8, 9, you know, the sphincters maybe are not very well developed. So that is the reason the young baby, you know, like the newborn babies, they pass out urine, they don't even understand because the sphincters are not developed by that age. Okay. Similar thing happens in the old age. So the sphincters, though develop during the adult stage, they may lose their, you know, flexibility because of age. And then even the old people, even in their age also sometimes they cannot control the urine. They don't understand also sometimes that they have passed out urine. Okay. Holding your urine for too long can develop kidney stones because all these waste, instead of being thrown out, will remain suspended in the kidney only. So that is going to cause what? The backflow of the waste, right? And when it flows backward, it will get lodged somewhere in the pyramids or in the renal pelvis or in the hilum or in the ureters. है ना? So backflow होगा तो yeah, it will start accumulating. I'm coming to that also. We're going to talk about the different disorders also today. Okay. Yeah. So the neural mechanism causing the micturition is called as micturition reflex. An adult human excretes 1 to 1.5 liters of urine per day. That is around 25 to 30 grams of urea is going to be thrown out of our body. Urine is light yellow colored, watery fluid, slightly acidic, and has characteristic odor. So this is the way the urine is collected into the bottles. See, urine का collection तो आपने देखा होगा, किया भी होगा for some reason, sometimes in your life. This is the analysis. Average urine volume per day for adults is around 1.4 to 1.5 liters. And when you, actually centrifuge the urine, this is the way you get the different layers. So you get uric acid, bicarbonate ions, creatinine, potassium ions, sodium ions, chloride ions, urea. Okay. Blood testing में बेटा ये अपना urine testing. This particular thing is it's seen after the centrifugation of urine. Okay. Various conditions affect the characteristics of urine. Urine analysis helps in clinical diagnosis of many metabolic disorders and malfunctioning of the kidney. Yes, correct. Example, they have given, see, what are the different disorders of the urine impairment. See, glycosuria, presence of glucose in urine, जो diabetic patients में होता है. Okay. Ketonuria, presence of ketone bodies in urine. Both indicate what? Diabetes mellitus. So Benedict's test is done for this particular analysis. They are the colors of urine means we have added Benedict's reagent in this. Benedict's reagent is going to be a solution, a chemical. When you add this solution to the urine, if it develops blue color, okay, then that person is not suffering from diabetes. If it becomes green in color, means that person is pre-diabetic or has just started with, diabetes. If it becomes orange color, then you can say that person is diabetic, of course, but is not going to have severe diabetes. And if it becomes brick red color, then उसकी sugar level बहुत high है. तो immediately blood test karake, the medicines have to be started even in moderate condition, that is even in orange condition. So, like sometimes instead of going directly for a blood test, initially we go for a urine analysis that if blood sugar is present in the urine or not. Agar urine में blood sugar है तो blood में definitely है ना? Not blood in urine, sugar in urine. Sugar, diabetes की बात कर रही हूँ. हाँ, borderline is going to be orange color. Yes, बेटा, correct. Okay. So, नहीं, borderline is going to be green color. And diabetic person will show moderate amount. And अगर बहुत sugar बढ़ गया तो it will become red in color. Heavy sugar is going to be red in color. Brick red. Okay. Now see, glycosuria and diabetes mellitus. Glycosuria is presence of glucose in the urine. It is an indication of diabetes mellitus disorder. So diabetes mellitus is a disorder, okay, because of non-production of insulin or less production of insulin or whatever it is. Okay. Blood in urine indicates the kidney has become porous. The porocytes are, the slits have become wide enough to cause the RBCs to seep into the, squeeze into the PCT. Okay. Yeah. So that is what is about your disorder. This is due to insufficient reabsorption of glucose. Yeah, I'm coming to that. I'm going to talk about diabetes mellitus. That time I'll tell you what exactly is going to happen. Is there no reabsorption? What is going to happen? I'll talk about it. Okay. Role of lungs, liver, and skin in excretion. Removal of carbon dioxide, which we already know, and water is also going to be a part of excretion only of carbon dioxide. Liver secretes bile containing bilirubin, biliverdin, cholesterol, degraded steroid hormones, vitamins, and drugs. Most of them pass out with the digestive wastes. Okay, so majority of them are going to be thrown out via egation, that is large intestine, say rectum, and ultimately through the anus. Majority of them are going to be thrown out as digestive wastes. So lungs are also helping, liver is also helping in final, excretion of different waste, different kinds of waste, I would say. Skin, sweat contains water, NaCl, small amount of urine, lactic acid, etc. Primary function of sweat is to give a cooling effect on the body. Sebaceous glands eliminate sterols, hydrocarbons, waxes through sebum. Sebum provides a protective oily covering for the skin. So generally, like now in winters, you might not feel it, but in summers, you might feel a sticky, oily substance being, formed on the nose area, forehead area, skull. That is sebum formation. Yes. Saliva eliminates small amount of nitrogenous waste. Yes. Okay. So these all are also going to help in some or the other forms of excretion. Okay. That's with your complete with your countercurrent method and some important points. Fourth part is going to be regulation of kidney function. It's equally important. See, it is done by hormonal feedback mechanism involving hypothalamus, juxtaglomerular apparatus. JGA stands for juxtaglomerular apparatus. Okay, and heart. Saliva के बारे में क्या पूछ रहे हो बेटा? What is your doubt for saliva? Saliva is not excretory. It is going to have dissolved nitrogenous waste. Okay. Yeah, through the rectum. Through the rectum. Yes. Through the rectum, bacha. Correct. Yeah. So changes in the blood volume, body fluid volume, and ionic concentration activates the osmoreceptors in the body. That's what I said. That finally, ये सारा fighting किसके लिए हो रहा है? For maintaining the volume of blood. Okay. So blood volume change हुआ, body fluid volume change हुआ, ionic concentration change हुआ. So immediately the osmoreceptors would get activated. Okay. Now what will happen after that? See, when body fluid level decreases, the osmoreceptor stimulates the hypothalamus to release ADH hormone, that is antidiuretic hormone. Okay, so अपना जो hypothalamus है, it is going to get activated to immediately synthesize ADH. Now, what is the role of this ADH? ADH का full form क्या है बेटा? Antidiuretic factor और hormone. ADF भी कहते थे पहले ADH. ADH का second synonym is vasopressin. Don't forget this, huh? ADH itself is going to be called as vasopressin. It stimulates water reabsorption from DCT and collecting tubules. So ADH जैसे आएगा ना, तो क्या हो जाएगा? It is going to pull water from the DCT and collecting tubules or collecting ducts. Okay. Thus, ADH prevents diuresis. That is, it increases body fluid volume. Diuresis का मतलब क्या होता है बेटा? Diluting of urine. So it will prevent diluting of urine by absorbing maximum water. Okay. So see here, this person is actually feeling very thirsty. So the blood osmolarity, यहाँ पर देखो, look at this. Dehydration, that is blood volume कम हो गया, है ना? First thing what you can do is you can drink water. That's the best thing when you feel thirsty. Rather, I would say before you feel thirsty also, please drink water. Okay, don't allow this ADH formation to take place, please. I'll tell you the reason why. See, osmoreceptors in the hypothalamus will get activated. Okay, the posterior, you will feel thirsty. If you feel thirsty, immediately drink water, the blood volume will get, automatically the blood volume will get neutralized. Okay, but if you don't drink water, the pituitary gland will start synthesizing ADH. तो ADH का concentration बढ़ता जाएगा, water retention by the kidneys होता जाएगा, and when the kidneys will start retaining water, it is not good. Okay, kidneys are for releasing that water and not retaining the water, but they are forced to retain the water because blood volume अपना कम हो रहा है. क्यों ब्लड वॉल्यूम कम हुआ? स्क्वीजिंग हो रहा है, स्क्वीजिंग हो रहा है, स्क्वीजिंग हो रहा है, आप पानी ही नहीं पी रहे हो. फाइन, प्लीज डोंट मेक दैट ADH to become functional. Okay, so see, this is the collecting duct. The filtrate is passing, water is getting reabsorbed in the peritubular capillary, that is into the vasa rectum under the influence of ADH. Okay, so when ADH will come, so urine will be highly concentrated, which is not good for our health. Drink more water. Increase in fluid volume switches off the osmoreceptors and suppresses the ADH release to complete the feedback. ADH constricts blood vessels. See, what is the role of ADH? ADH will constrict the blood vessels, resulting in an increase of the blood pressure. This increases the glomerular blood flow and the glomerular filtration rate. So everything if you see is going to be affected in a wrong way. Okay. ADH constricts blood vessels. So your blood vessels are going to become small. Okay. And increase the pressure of the blood. Blood pressure बढ़ता है. Then what is by JGA? ये तो और भी मतलब अलग level का mechanism है. See, there is a special sensitive region called as juxtaglomerular apparatus, JGA, formed by the cellular modification of DCT and the afferent arteriole at the location of their contact. So here you can see this group of cells. ये देखो बेटा. Can you see this? This is your juxtaglomerular apparatus. Okay, ये afferent arteriole है, करेक्ट, और ये DCT है. तो ये DCT का ये वाला जो these cells are modified cells. Okay, these are the modified cells. So why are they modified? What is the reason for this modification? Juxta means in the middle. Juxta का मतलब क्या है? In the middle. किसके बीच में है? Glomerular apparatus and इसके बीच में है. Glomerular apparatus and DCT के बीच में है. Right? Yes, Vaishnavi, the same thing. See, vasopressin compresses the blood vessel. Yes, but in circulation chapter I had told you all the same thing. Okay? Yes, very correct, very correct. Good. So, yeah. So here what is going to happen? See, there is a special sensitive region called as juxtaglomerular apparatus, formed by the cellular modification of DCT and the afferent arteriole at the location of their contact. Okay, it's like this, na? They are coming together like this. एक के ऊपर एक. Fine, I'll show you that. I'll clear your doubt. Don't worry. JGA regulates the GFR by renin-angiotensin mechanism. Please understand this mechanism. Every time many questions have been asked from this particular part, what is renin-angiotensin mechanism and why it is going to occur. See, a fall in the glomerular blood flow means the blood which is flowing via the afferent arteriole into the glomerulus, that will be called as your glomerular blood flow. If there is fall in the glomerular blood flow, or there is going to be less pressure inside these glomerulus, then what will happen? The JG cells will get activated. So what are the JG cells? They are the modified cells, right, of DCT. Okay, they will get activated. And when the JG cells get activated, why? Because अभी pressure ही नहीं है. Blood का pressure इतना कम है कि filtration नहीं हो पा रहा है. देखिए, you do this. You take lemon. and you try to squeeze it through the squeezer. If you just, squeeze it lightly, maximum juice cannot be extracted. So you need to actually press it very hard for maximum lemon juice to fall into the glass. Correct? But if there is no pressure, then what will happen? Same thing is happening over here. The blood has got the waste. The waste needs to be squeezed out into the Bowman's capsule, but there is no pressure. There is no force for it. In that case, a force, a pressure needs to be generated. So who would generate this force? So this force would be generated by renin. Now, my dears, please focus on the spelling. The renin of digestion was renin, which was used in the milk digestion of the infants. And this renin is renin. These two are totally different. renin and renin has got no relations together. प्लीज 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 प्लीज, इसीलिए इसमें तो आपको 110% ये क्वेश्चन आता है. RENIN associated with milk digestion in infants, and RENIN is associated with the kidney function. So kindly make a note of this, beta. Note it down, very important. Okay. अब ये renin कौन रिलीज करेगा? तो renin will be released by the JG cells. What are JG cells? Juxtaglomerular cells. What are juxtaglomerular cells? They are modified cells of DCT. What is DCT? Distal convoluted tubule. It's a part of what? It's a part of your nephron. Is it fine? Understood this? Any confusion, my dears? Now what will the renin do? वो आगे बता रही हूँ, but यहाँ तक किसी को कोई difficulty है? Tell me. Glomerular filtration rate. GFR का full form is glomerular filtration rate. Okay. What does the renin do? See, renin converts angiotensinogen in blood to angiotensin 1, and further angiotensin 1 will get converted into angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 acts like a vasoconstrictor, means again it will, make the blood vessels become smaller. Smaller मतलब उसका lumen कम हो जाएगा. So when the lumen will narrow down, automatically pressure will increase. Correct? So angiotensin 2 thus increases the glomerular blood pressure, and thereby the glomerular filtration rate will also increase. Okay? So what has happened? Any difficulty in understanding, beta? Huh? तो अगर filtration rate कम हो गया, pressure से blood अंदर नहीं आ रहा है glomerulus में, then the JG cells get activated, which are the cells of DCT, modified cells of DCT. They are going to convert the angiotensinogen of the blood to angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 will then get converted into angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 will then start constricting the blood vessels, thereby increasing the flow. GFR full form just now I said, beta, glomerular filtration rate. Okay. Angiotensin 2 also activates adrenal cortex to synthesize aldosterone. तो वो जो कैप दिखाई दी थी आपको, you could see the cap. You could see the cap on the kidney that day I showed you. है ना? I told you as if they are wearing snow caps. हाँ, so that was your adrenal cortex वाला जो area है वो. So it will cause them to secrete a hormone called as aldosterone. So vasopressin or ADH is synthesized by whom, and aldosterone is synthesized by whom is a common question, my dears. Right? Yes, adrenal gland. Yes, bacha. Correct, Niharika. Very true. So adrenal cortex will be a part of the adrenal gland, which will start synthesizing aldosterone. ठीक है, समझ में आ रही है बात? Now what is the effect of aldosterone? We have to see. Just look at this diagram. Yeah, so here the GFR rate has fallen down. Okay, so what has happened? See, the JGA cells of the distal convoluted tubule has caused the renin to get formed. Renin has activated angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. Okay, angiotensin 2, arterial constriction, blood pressure volume has increased. The juxtaglomerular apparatus responds to low blood volume or blood pressure. Okay, that has caused this to happen. Adrenal gland was this one which has started making aldosterone. Aldosterone क्या करेगा देखो, I'll tell you the function of aldosterone over here, then it will be easy. Aldosterone causes reabsorption of Na plus and water from the distal parts of the tubule. This leads to an increase in the blood pressure and GFR. So ये देखो, increased Na plus H2O reabsorption in the distal tubule. So when it becomes highly concentrated, automatically pressure would increase. So दो तरीके से pressure को increase किया जाता है बेटा. एक है arteries को constrict करना है और दूसरा है solutes को, electrolytes को ज्यादा reabsorb करना है. So because of these two mechanisms, the pressure of blood will increase for getting squeezed inside the Bowman's capsule. Okay, so role of aldosterone and role of renin, both are equally important. Any difficulty in understanding this? Any problem? Come on, tell me. Aldosterone का समझा क्या function है? Increase Na plus and H2O reabsorption in the distal tubules. Fine. Now, as I always say, when the concentration of solutes will increase, automatically the pressure will increase inside the blood. The blood will get more concentrated, right? So it will cause a pressure. There's always going to be charges, na? Na plus, है ना? So these charges are going to add on to the pressure. Okay? Yeah, it will increase the blood pressure. That is what. Na plus आ गया, चार्जेस आ गया, ब्लड का प्रेशर बढ़ गया, तो बीपी का प्रॉब्लम चालू हो जाता है अगर ये रेगुलर बेसिस पे हुआ तो. That is the reason you should not, allow all these mechanisms to come into action. Drink water continuously. तो ये सब सारी चीजें कुछ काम मतलब उनको आराम करने दो. Why you want to constrict the blood vessels? Drink more water. Your blood vessels will never get constricted. If your blood vessels are not going to get constricted, your urine formation is going to be, a regular cyclic mechanism. Okay. Well, now let us see regulation by ANF, that is natriuretic factor. ये देखो, atrial में है, atrium is going to be your heart. ANF checks on the renin-angiotensin mechanism. So to counteract with the renin-angiotensin mechanism, ANF has to be secreted. Increase in blood flow to the atria of the heart causes the release of atrial natriuretic factor. ANF causes vasodilation. So vasopressin was causing vasoconstriction. ANF will cause vasodilation and thereby decrease the blood pressure. So अगर बहुत ज़्यादा pressure आ जाएगा ना heart पे blood का, तो heart is going to take care of its own. बोलेगा भाई बहुत ज़्यादा pressure दे रहा है तू, थोड़ा शांति से ले ले, हाँ, let me work efficiently. So it will cause what? It will cause vasodilation. So the arteries will become, the lumen will become wider. Yes, Bhumi. This mechanism will be reversible. So that is the reason drink plenty of water continuously. You're feeling thirsty or you're not feeling thirsty. It doesn't matter. Drink water, keep on drinking water. Okay. Yeah, ANF is like a feedback. Yes, beta. Bilkul correct, Sanika. Right. Okay, so look over here. Yeah, what is happening? Cardiac distension, sympathetic stimulation, angiotensin to endothelium, all will activate your heart. These are going to be the factors which are going to, actually cause vasodilation. Vasodilation means increase in the lumen of the blood vessels. Blood pressure will fall down. Okay. Otherwise, what has happened? See, the GFR is increased, renin, angiotensin 1, angiotensin 2, aldosterone, natriuresis, diuresis, blood volume will drop down. Okay, but ANF is like a feedback. It is going to take control of what? Formation of aldosterone and formation of renin. Yes, water is good for preventing every disease. Correct. So we are coming to that only. Diseases and disorders of the kidney. Okay, यही अपने को अभी देखना है. What are the disorders? Accumulation of urea in blood due to malfunctioning of kidney is called as uremia. Okay, it may lead to kidney failure, that is your renal failure. So you have to regularly, check your blood pressure. Increase in blood pressure, high blood pressure indicates the problem with high salt concentration in your system, in your blood. So इसीलिए blood pressure बढ़ने के बाद immediately नमक बंद कर देते हैं doctors. They say don't consume more of salt, and if the BP is not decreasing, then completely saltless food is given to the patients. Imagine saltless food. Oh my God. But there are many people who survive on these type of foods. They get used to it. What to do? जिंदा रहना है ना? So uremia क्या है बेटा? Accumulation of urea in the blood due to malfunctioning of the kidney. Renal calculi. What are these renal calculi? Stones, जिसको हम kidney stones कहते हैं. Stone or insoluble mass of crystallized salts, oxalates, etc., are formed within the kidney. So here you can see very clearly. ये देखो बेटा, ये देखो green color का दिखाई दे रहा है तुम्हें. See, these are the kidney stones, and look at their position. They are present in the minor calyces, major calyces, kidney stone in the ureter. Imagine if this stone blocks the flow of urine, it will be so painful, and it is very painful. And look, these are the actual ones which have been, taken out. ये actual stones है. इतने बड़े-बड़े stones बनते हैं. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it blocks all these, areas. They are so big ना. मतलब किसी को मारेंगे तो लगेगा ऐसा वाला पत्थर लग रहा है कि नहीं? They are actually very big. They are like powders also. See, nowadays there are many methods to remove these, stones. Laser method आजकल use होता है. Kidney नहीं होती. होती है, kidney बड़ी है. Kidney बड़ी है अपनी. Okay, so the stones are really big. And it blocks everything, and it causes so much of pain. अरे इतना छोटा सा भी अगर stone है ना, minute, then to it is going to be, like painful. Imagine something blocks your food pipe. You are eating something, and minute thing, minute मतलब क्या ही बोलूं. आप लोग वो सौंफ खाते हैं? सौंफ मराठी में हम लोग उसको बड़ी शोप कहते हैं. खाते हो आप लोग? हाँ, उसका एक एक्सटेंडेड ऐसा पार्ट होता है. समटाइम्स इट गेट्स ब्लॉक्ड इन योर दिस एरिया. हाँ, स्टेम के जैसा. या इट ब्लॉक्स योर फूड पाइप. ब्लॉक्स मतलब नॉट ब्लॉक्स, बट इट स्टिक्स ओवर योर. और फिर वो चुभता रहता है बीच में, है ना? हाँ, इरिटेशन करता है थ्रोट रीजन में. या टूथ का तो है, बट इधर अगर थ्रोट में अटक गया ना, इन इसोफेजियल रीजन, इधर तो भी इरिटेट होते हैं हम लोग. पानी पीते हैं, क्या क्या करते हैं. सो इतना सा छोटा सा है, फिर भी इट इरिटेट्स यू. इमेजिन दीज स्टोन्स, if they block any part of the kidney, they'll be so much irritating. अफसोस होता है क्यों खाया. हाँ रे, मुझे भी ऐसे ही होता है. Even I feel like that. यार, why did I eat that? इतना अच्छा खाना हुआ था, अब ये कंटिन्यूअस वो इरिटेटिंग वाला फीलिंग है. Even I feel the same. Yeah, so these are, stones which are insoluble masses. That is important. They are not solubilized in water. They need to be broken down using a laser treatment. Okay, it's like, and many a times, like these stones are going to reoccur. They are not cured. So people who are having stones ka issues, you have to drink a lot of water so that you prevent the formation of stones altogether. Okay. Yeah. Then we have got something called as glomerulonephritis. Glomerulonephritis is the inflammation of the glomeruli. So the glomerulus you can see in this diagram, this is the glomerulus which has got inflamed, and that has caused proteins to come into the urine. Normally proteins should not be thrown out of the body. So there are secretion of proteins to counteract the swelling inflammation. But in due course, this proteins are being thrown out into the urine. That will tell clinical diagnosis हो जाएगा कि ये बंदे को कुछ तो glomerulus के साथ problem हुआ है, because proteins is being thrown out into the urine. So when a person checks for urine analysis, urine checkup कराता है, उसमें अगर proteins मिलते हैं, तो the doctors will say there is problem with the glomerulus. That is what it should have been reabsorbed, but they are not getting reabsorbed. Okay, so there is some problem. Excess of proteins आया है, जितना चाहिए उतना proteins have been reabsorbed, and excess of proteins है, so they need to be thrown out. Anything that is excess will be thrown out, right? So it's of clinical significance. Look at the kidney का, ये देखो बेटा, healthy kidney देखो, and glomerulonephritis होने के बाद kidney देखो, it has become swollen and red in color completely. See, color difference है ना? All the, yeah, it's going to happen to almost all the nephrons. Yes, because the kidney only is going to get swollen, na? Easily. Yeah. Then we have got something called as hemodialysis. Dialysis के बारे में आपने सुना होगा, but please understand this is a concept. See how the dialysis is being carried out. See, it is a process of removal of urea in the patients with uremia. So the urea is not getting eliminated from the body. The kidney is not functional to take out these nitrogenous waste out of the blood. So artificial methods have to be adopted. The dialyzing unit, which we call it as artificial kidney, contains a cellophane tube surrounded by dialyzing fluid. Now, what is this cellophane tube? The cellophane tube is a porous tube which is having porosity almost similar to the porosity of our podocytes के food extensions. तो वो जो slits होते हैं ना, जिससे actual filtration हो रहा है, almost same porosity का अपना cellophane membrane या cellophane tape होता है. Okay, fine. It has the same composition of plasma except the nitrogenous waste. So what is going to happen? This cellophane tube जो है उसके अंदर we fill it with a liquid. Okay, that liquid is going to be nothing but plasma का ही composition except any nitrogenous waste. Okay, understood? What is going to happen? Now what happens? See, blood is drained from a convenient artery, okay, and it is going to be pumped into the dialyzing unit after adding an anticoagulant like heparin. See, when the blood is going to be moving out of the body, the blood is going to clot. It is not going to have anticoagulating factors being added to it now because it is coming out of the body. So we have to add anticoagulant like heparin in the dialyzing unit. Okay, the porous cellophane membrane of the tube allows the passage of molecules based on concentration gradient. So now in the tube, the plasma is going to be without the nitrogenous waste, correct? Now what will happen? The blood is going to have a lot of urea, which is a nitrogenous waste. So from higher concentration, the urea will be immediately moving into the lower concentrated area. So the urea from the blood will diffuse out to reach the dialyzing unit. समझ में आ गई बात? तो यहाँ पर देखो बेटा, ये आर्टरी है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ना, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस इज द आर्टरी from where the blood is withdrawn. Okay, blood is removed for cleaning. It will enter into the dialyzer. See, okay, it's going to pass through this dialyzer, right? Dialyzer में ये जो है ना येलो कलर वाला, this is your cellophane. और ये जो बाजू वाला fluid है ना, ये blue कलर वाला, that is going to be the plasma without nitrogenous waste. Okay, now because of this porous membrane, the urea will get diffused into this particular dialyzing fluid. Okay, and now this fluid is going to be returned clean blood. Clean blood means devoid of nitrogenous waste now, but it has got deoxygenated. See, है ना, ऑक्सीजन चला गया इसके अंदर का, वो भी प्लाज्मा में चला गया of course. And so the deoxygenated blood is now going to be returned to the vein. So artery में से blood will be taken out to pass through the dialyzing unit containing the cellophane membrane and the plasma-like fluid. And after the urea has been, diffused out, the blood will again be pumped into the vein. So this is the way the dialysis is going to be carried out. What is that, Ruta? Extreme right. Ye wala. This is going to be the diagrammatic version. This is going to be the actual machine. Okay, ये actual machine ऐसे दिखता है, dialyzing machine ऐसे दिखता है, और ये उसका diagrammatic form है. ये dialyzer, ये जो fluid है, see here what is happening? The nitrogenous waste wala fluid is entering over here, na? So then it will be purified, and again only plasma will be added only. So this is a purifying unit. Yeah, air trap has to be there. These are air traps. ये जो है ना, this and this, they are air traps. Otherwise, it will be very painful. Very good. Yes, automatically changed or done manually after a period of time. It has to be changed manually. How much time it takes? Normally around half an hour to 1 hour maximum. It depends on the condition of the patient. So sometimes the patients are recommended to go for dialysis thrice in a week, sometimes twice in a week, sometimes once in a week. Okay, fine. It's very irritating. As nitrogenous waste are absent in the dialyzing fluid, the substances from the blood move out, thereby clearing the blood. The cleared blood is pumped back to the body through a vein after adding antiheparin to it. So heparin was your anticoagulant. Huh? So now we have to add antiheparin because the body is naturally going to now synthesize the anticoagulants. Okay. So ये देखो बेटा, यहाँ पर बहुत अच्छी तरह से ये डायग्राम में बताया है उन्होंने. Yeah, look at this. So here, this is the artery. Okay. It's moving, right? Again going into the vein, added into the vein. Fresh dialyzing fluid, and this is compressed air. Okay. It is going to act like your anti-blood coagulant. Palak, it's going to be acting like an anti-blood coagulant, and efficiency of filtration will improve. Okay, compressed air to remove the bubbles, if any. Yes, right. It is, yeah, that's all about your, this thing, what? Dialysis, hemodialysis. Kidney transplantation, it is the ultimate method in the correction of acute renal failures. Okay, so a functioning kidney is taken from a donor. It is better to receive a kidney from a close relative to minimize the chance of rejection by immune system of the host. Generally, a mother will donate to her child, or the siblings can donate to each other. So it's always better to take it from a very close relative, so that there is no problem with rejection of the kidneys, or I mean any organs for that matter. Okay, if you look at this particular diagram, this is a actual kidney का diagram है. ये actual damaged kidney कैसे दिखती है उसका वो photo लिया गया है. This one is the actual photograph. Okay, you can see it is proper bean shape. How many times a person needs to go for dialysis? It depends on his health condition. Sometimes once in a week, or if it is more severe, twice in a week, and if it is very bad as a condition, even thrice in a week. Okay, person did not get admitted. It's a matter of only 1 to 2 hours. The person just needs to go there as a daycare and come back home. Yes, Vedant, exactly. Great, Sanika, very good. So that's about your kidney transplantation. Okay, and someone was asking me that during diabetes, why people have to have more urination during the night time. But during the night, maximum body repairing is going to go on. So whatever is in imbalance, whatever is in extra, whatever is in less, is going to be maintained during the night, because we are not doing any other physical activities at that time. So our entire energy is going to be diverted only and only in the repair mechanism. So whenever the body senses that there is a lot of sugar present in the blood, it is going to throw out that excess sugar via the urine. And anything in excess, of course, as I said, is going to be thrown out. So during the night time, this mechanism is going to be like a rapid one, speeding up. And so generally diabetic patients have to wake up in the middle of the night several times to throw away the excess sugar from their body. Right? Got it? Well, my dear, so with this, we complete the chapter of excretion and osmoregulation. Okay? They can be removed, damaged kidneys can be removed, but they have to be retransplanted. Now, someone has to be there to take care of the filtration. Tubular secretion is, that's what I told you now. K plus, Na plus, these are going to be secreted by whom? By the kidney. ये देखो, इसमें I'll show you. See, tubular secretion we have done now. Correct? ये देखो. Cells of PCT, DCT maintain ionic balance, acid-base balance. So this is what I told you. We haven't done this slide. How is it possible? We haven't done? Oh, okay, fine. We can do it right now. It's simple. It is simple. See, in tubular secretion, what is happening? See, cells of the PCT, DCT maintain ionic balance and acid-base balance of the body fluids by selective secretion of H plus, K plus, and NH3. So see, this is going to be your vasa recta wala area. Blood hai isme, hai na? They'll synthesize what? They'll give out what? H plus, K plus, and NH3, which will enter into the tubule. Okay, got it? So filtration from blood plasma into the nephron, tubular reabsorption from the fluid into the blood. ये देखो यहाँ पर, right? Then tubular secretion from the blood into the fluid. Okay, so it's like some things are coming out while some things will be entering into the tubule. Okay, so The body fluids by selective secretion of H plus K plus NH3 into the filtrate and the reabsorption of HCO3 from it. Collecting duct maintains the pH and ionic balance of the body by secreting K plus ions. Okay, fine. What I was supposed to explain? Diabetes, I told you now that during the when the person is going to have more sugar, the body during the night time is going to give out maximum sugar outside. So that person needs to regularly go for urination. About what is diabetes, how diabetes is going to play a role in excretion is what I was supposed to tell you. What is diabetes and what exactly happens during diabetes is going to be learned in chapter of chemical control and coordination. बताऊंगी लेकिन वो वाले chapter. Okay, look at this diagram which will make it very simple. See beta. ब्लड कैपिलरी में से K प्लस H प्लस यूरिया ड्रग सब कुछ DCT में आ रहे हैं, यूरिन के थ्रू बाहर जा रहे हैं. ओके, सो tubular secretion understood. Only this was left. How can we leave this anyway? Maybe. So now understood this. Reabsorption कल किया था हमने, है ना? Okay. So tubular secretion and urine formation actually. That's it. So with this we complete one more chapter, that is osmoregulation, excretion and osmoregulation. So in the next class I'll go ahead with, of course, a new chapter that's going to be locomotion. Okay, so we'll go ahead with locomotion in the next class. As of now, have a nice day. Now I can say this because today I have done good morning to all of you. Okay, check. Bye, bye. See you all. See you all. Yeah. Bye, bye. Bye.